It's the first one of those I've ever caught. Hey there, Bixpy just sent me this K1 outboard kit. It's got the motor, it's got a remote, it's got a battery, all here in one box apparently. And they sent me a few other accessories as well to mount it. So, let's get right to it. Let's open this up. I mean, basically just all the instructions right there. Quick start guide, tells you how to mount it, how to run cables, connecting the power pack. Here's a cool feature. The power pack floats in water. It's waterproof and can withstand short periods of shallow submersion. It's not recommended for full submersion. But what that means is if you happen to get it wet or you happen to flip, you're not ruining your battery pack. So that's cool. That's one thing I was wondering about. Okay, and we open it up. I mean, look, everything's pretty much there. You've got the cord, you've got the remote, charging, the battery pack, and the motor. The motor's pretty lightweight, actually. Little propeller, but I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Oh. Okay, so you got to put this on. Looks like the battery pack is maybe 60 or 70% charged. Now, Bixpy has sent me two other things. One is a pole steering system. So the reason they sent the pole is Bixpy sent me this to use with the Isle Switch Pro that I just did a video on. I won't need this with the Kayak. But because the Switch Pro uses a power pole mounting system, this means that I can also put this on my Kayak. We're going to open up the mounting system real quick, and then the second half of this video is going to be mounting it to the Outback and then giving it a test run and seeing how it works out. Now, from what I've seen, this mounting system is extremely beautiful and well built. So, anodized aluminum, it looks like. It's got the logo on it. So this is, I believe this is the mounting pole. And then this is the mounting plate, which also looks and feels like anodized aluminum. So we're going to get this mounted up to the Kayak next. We're going to see how it all works out. Okay, I don't think there's going to be much to installing this. Just need to... Oop! Lost one. Got a little scratch there. I think if I use the... Just got to get under this to start with. Should just be able to pry these puppies out of here. Okay, those are those. I'll just have to run these inserts in, I believe. Be careful because these are brass, so you want to make sure you have everything threaded in the right way before you start putting any torque on them. Looks and feels like there's just a little bit of plastic down in this one. About all the farther those go in. Okay, so now we got those in. And the last part is we put this on. Could be some of that Hobie quality that we've always heard about. This one is at a little bit of an angle, so it doesn't fit. I should be able to use these speed nuts on every piece, but what I have found so far is that the speed nuts really don't clear here. I'm going back to these same nuts. And then the last bit of installation I wouldn't do until I got out on the water. But it's basically, take these two bad boys, put it down in here, like so. And then from there you're good to go. Now I'm going to lock this down when I have it on the kayak. And because I really don't want the motor turning, but that's it. Then the battery will go up here and we'll hit the water.
Okay, editing Aaron here, and I tell you what, so many things went wrong when I hit the water. First off, I had the drone up in the air for like 20 minutes, and I got maybe a minute's worth of usable footage, and it was just the beginning and the end. I didn't get any of the fishing action, so that was a little aggravating. And the biggest thing is, because I had been using the Bixpy motor on the paddleboard, I had it set up for steering control, and I forgot to put this pin in, which locks the motor straight. So when I got out on the water, I had all kinds of left and I had no right rudder because the motor was, I guess I hit it when I was getting into the water or unloading. So I tried to fix it on the water and couldn't do it. So I had to come back to the ramp and get that squared away.
I think I hit the motor when I was getting in and it turned it a little bit. So I came back, reset the motor straight. I didn't bring the steering pole with me. So we're gonna head back out here and see if we can make it upstream, because man, it is so hot. It's already it's well into the 80s and it's like 8:30 in the morning. It's gonna be 90s all week. So anyway, let's go see if we can catch a few fish.
After that, it was flawless. Next time I'll definitely remember the pin, and that will help keep it locked into place. Now the next thing is, it was just miserable. The fishing, I couldn't figure it out. I was getting virtually no bites other than what felt like some tiny little sunfish or something. I thought I broke one of my Kistler rods at one point.
Well, something I hadn't thought about. I got that hooked on the motor back there, and it was enough to snap it.
Thankfully, it was just I just got the lure caught or the line caught or something, and so the snap that I heard was just the line snapping. So done with topwater for the day. Eventually, I started to figure it out, but along the way, I started to really appreciate the Bixby motor even more. I've never been a guy that I thought like, hey, I want a kayak motor, right? But this experience really made me start thinking about, wow, this really makes a difference.
There we go. Actually get a little bit of a breeze doing this.
It was so hot, it was so miserable. I got to the point where I just had to cover water faster, and setting the motor even just at the setting speed of 1 forced me to fish faster.
I think it got off.
And I eventually started figuring out a little bit of a pattern. I found a lure that they would at least hit.
Hey, finally got something if we can keep it on. Oh, and he came off. Okay, so it is about 9:30 in the morning. Been out here for maybe an hour and a half. Had a couple bites. I just missed a fish, but I have an appointment. Get the haircut. It's a little long here in a few hours, and I'm about an hour from home, so I need to turn around, I'm going to try to fish down fairly quickly. I think I'm going to stick with this hover strolling rig because that was the best bite and the closest I got to landing a fish. So, and it's something I can fish fairly quick. So we'll go back downstream and hopefully we'll catch a few. But the motor's cool. Honestly, this would have been so much more miserable today fishing in this really hot, humid weather out here in the sun if I was pedaling the whole way. Again, first world problems, right? But the Bixpy motor, it's fantastic, okay? And it really is sort of nice. And this is one of those situations where I can get back on time if I just set the motor, and it'll force me to fish fast. So that's the plan. Wish me luck.
So I ended up doing something that I have never done before, and I caught a new species as well.
Oop, I got one. Little smallie. Oop. Hey, come on. There we go. We avoided the skunk. My word, that'd take forever. There's another one next cast. That looks like a largemouth. Hey, that's a spot. That's a spotted bass. This is the first one of those I've ever caught. Looky there. There we go, first spotted bass. That's really nice. There we go. Stop. Boy, this guy is fighting. He was a fighter. This one is a largemouth, so means we've got all three. There we go. Fairly fat fish.
But all in all, I got to tell you, I'm extremely pleased with the Bixpy itself. It's got a ton of power for a 1 horsepower motor. It moves you along pretty well, as fast as I could go with my foot pedals for sure. So that was nice. I was able to get a little bit of a breeze by setting it up on full speed a couple times. So that was really cool. And using it a lot, I was way less than half the battery pack in like 2.5 hours. You know, if you're interested in getting one of these for your kayak, use my link below. I have a personal link. Doesn't cost you anymore, but it supports the channel, and I appreciate that. But I'm looking forward to using the Bixpy a lot more. I'm going to try it in a couple sections of river that I've never really tried to solo fish before, because it's difficult to deal with the current, and I don't always have a partner to do a float. So that's one of the next things I want to try. But you'll be seeing the Bixpy on the kayak a good bit more. And when I do get it out there, I'll take you along with me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.